So good afternoon once again. So let's wait for 1 or 2 minutes since students are joining, then we'll start with the next topic. Okay, so I hope the topic we have discussed in the last session that is clear to everyone. Now I'll start with the next topic, that is your recursion. So everyone know what is recursion, and can anyone tell me what is the use of recursion? Let me give you the rights of sharing your audio. Wait for a sec. Yes, now you can. Yes, anyone just tell me about the recursion. What do you mean by recursion? Function calling itself, right? So whenever your function is going to call itself again and again, then you can say that is your recursion, right? So I'll just take a simple example of recursion function by calculating the factorial of a number. Suppose, yes, calling function, right? Suppose the definition of this function will be same, def factorial a. Now, factorial of, if number one is given, one is given, it will give you the one factorial only. So if I'll put the condition for if x is equal to 1, it will return you 1. Return x a into factorial a minus 1. So here I am calling this function again and again with the decrement value. Okay. So if I'll just do x is equal to, I'm taking the input from the user, input, enter the number for which you want to calculate the factorial. Right? After this, call that function factorial x. Or I can simply write here print, because I need to print the statement of factorial of given number is. Yes. So if I will check the factorial of 5, it will give you 120, right? So this is how you can calculate the factorial. So this is recursion. This function is calling itself again and again till you will get your value. This is clear? This is an example of recursion function. Also, you can also create the Fibonacci series with the help of the recursion function, and there are a number of examples you can do with the help of recursion, right? Then after this recursion functions, we have anonymous function. Now till this point, we have created all the user defined function with the help of def keyword, right? So this anonymous function, this is without any name. You are not going to provide any name to the function. So first of all, how we are creating the function, def keyword used to define the function, then we write the function name, and then we write the body of that particular function. Now in this case, we are just going to create the function without the name. So that is why these functions are known as the anonymous function. Now these anonymous function can be created with the help of lambda. Okay. And the syntax for creating this lambda function is just that it will take two value, argument and expression, right? So syntax is this one, lambda argument double colon expression. Now the restriction over this function is that you can pass any number of the arguments like a, b, c, d, e, any number of the arguments, but your expression will be single. Only one expression at a time you can pass in the uh, lambda function. Number of the argument, but one single expression. And this is a syntax for creating your lambda function, anonymous function, right? Now, what is the use of this lambda function? Suppose you just want to create, the one use is that you want to create a function for short period of the time. So you can just create it by using the anonymous function. Second scenario, that if you want to, the lambda function can be used whenever you're going to a function inside a function. Matlab, if you want to pass the argument as a function, then in that scenarios you can make use of the lambda function. So I'll just give you the example of that also. First of all, just simple example of lambda. Let me make it. Okay. A is equal to lambda x x into 2. Print A 3. What it will give you? It will give you the double of this number. 3 you have given, it will give you double. If you give 5, it will give you the double value, 8. So you can calculate the double of any number simply like this, right? Just write the lambda keyword, then argument, and then multiple things. So I have already told you that you can pass multiple arguments together. Suppose x comma y comma z I am doing, but I can only pass one single expression. So x plus y plus z, I can do like this only. 3 comma 4 comma 5, only one expression at a time. So this is one expression. If with the help of the comma I'm going to write another expression, it will give you the error. So you can pass one expression and the multiple argument at a time, right? So you will get the sum of these numbers. Clear? Now use of these lambda functions, we can use lambda function in Python with two main function, filter and map. First of all, tell me that this lambda function is clear to everyone, then I'll start go with the another. Okay, fine. Okay. Now, first of all, I'll just make use of the filter function. Filter function is basically used to filter out the values. Like suppose, and in this case, I have told you that lambda function we can implement with the help of this filter and map. These filter and map make use of the two value. One is your function and another one is list. So it will make use of the two things, function and the list. With the help of the function and list, we can make use of the filter and map function. Okay, how we are going to use it? Let me make this in comment first. Suppose I have taken a list A with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 elements. Okay, and after that I'm just creating a new list B. Now I just want to filter out the even elements or the odd elements from this particular list. Suppose I just want to filter out the even elements. So how can I do that? B list. I'm making use of list here. I already told you that filter function will make use of the function and a list. So I have used a list, filter, what I want to filter, lambda x double colon, write the expression. How we can find out the even numbers? 0, right? Come out of this, comma, from where I want to filter out? From a list. After that, just do print B. If I will run this, I'll get a list of even numbers. Clear? So you can make use of the filter function in such way. If you want to filter out particular value, so just in a simple line, make use of list. It will give you the elements in a list. You are creating a B new list. So you have used a list function. You are filtering out the value by evaluating this expression. So you can make use of the filter function to filter out something from your previous thing or the another any other value, right? Is it clear to all? Okay. So now the example of map function. Similarly, the filter is filtering out the values, like I have filtered out the even numbers from this. Map function is used to map the values with the expression that you're going to give into the lambda function. Like, let me write. Suppose I'm taking the same list again, A, right? Then let me copy this again. Okay, here I will write map and suppose I am just writing or are just doing x double of the previous list, so x multiply 2. Fine. Now see, let me make it in our comments first. Now see, every member of or the element of the previous list is mapped with the this expression. It is double now. Okay, so you can make use of the map function like this, that this will return you the new list which contain whatever the items returned by this particular function. Whatever the value will be evaluated, that will be returned in this particular list. This is clear? The filter in the map function. Okay. So now we have the scope of the variable inside the function and outside the functions. So you're already aware of this thing, I guess. So can anyone just let me know about the global and the local variables? Let me share the code we have done till now. The function, you can keep these codes with you. So you can just save the codes, whatever we have discussed till now. Yes. Anyone about the local and the variable? Yes, anyone? Yes or no, so that I can explain. Okay. And what about the global? Yes, the both Divyanshi and Anurag have given the right answer. Yes, great. So global means you are declaring your variables globally and you can access them inside the function also and outside the function also. But if the scope of the variable is local, it means you are declaring your variable inside the function. If I'm talking about the concept of the functions, so you are declaring your global variable inside the function, so you can access that variable inside the functions only. Like first of all, I'll just create or take the example of global variable. Suppose I have taken x is equal to 2. Let me indentation. Okay. Now I am defining function funct1. I'm just printing x, and after that I'm just calling the function funct1. So see, I can access the function, right? But if I have taken y is equal to 2 here or 3 here, and I am printing the value of y, I'll get the value of both 3 and 2, because I am just accessing the value of y inside the function only and value of x inside the function. So x is already globally defined, so I can access it inside the function And let me make it like this. Outside the function, value of x, this is inside the function, comma, and this is also inside the function. To make it more clear, let me do one thing. Okay, let me once run this way. Inside the function, 3 value, that is for y only. For inside the function, y, x, and x. Okay, let me run again. So inside the function x is 3, inside the function x is 2, outside the function x is 2. So x can be accessed inside and outside also. Now suppose I want to access this y outside the function. Can I do that? No. It is giving you the error. The name y is not defined because the y I have defined in the local scope, but I am accessing that in the global scope, right? So it will give you the error. You cannot access it. Fine. So this is the local and the variable global scope. Now suppose I just want to do one more thing here. Let me make it in a comment. Same thing. What I am doing now, I am just doing x is equal to x plus 2, right? Let me delete this. Now see what happened. Local variable x referenced before assignment. So I have taken the global variable x and I'm changing the global variable inside the local function, and I'm not able to change. It will give me the error, right? The error is that referenced before assignment. It means I need to define a variable inside the function. After that, I can make changes. If I have done here x is equal to 3 and after that I am doing x is equal to x plus 2, it must have given the changes. But right now, there is no variable for there is no value for x is defined. So it is giving the error because I'm trying to change the scope of global variable. So if I want to make these kind of things to implement, I just can make use of the global keyword so that I can uh, make a clear thing that I am taking a reference from the global 2. So what I can do, just write global x. Now if I'll try to run this thing, first of all let me write in this way so that if after you will check this, it will be clear to you that what was the difference. Now see, whatever the changes after writing this global keyword, you have mentioned that you are taking the reference of x from the global keyword. So the value is reflected 2 here. 2 plus 2 will be given you 4. And after that, if you will check the value of x outside the function and inside the functions that are reflected into the global. right? So in this way, you can make or do the updation to a global function inside a local function by making use of this global keyword. Clear to all or any doubt? Any doubt in the concept of global and local? Okay, so this is all about are the Python functions. Let me check if any of the topic of functions left with us. Syntax, basic use of function, parameters and arguments, local and the global scope of a variables, return statements, and the recursive function. So we are done with the function parts now. The only topic we left in the unit 2 is object-oriented programming, in which we will learn about the classes and the objects and inheritance and overloading, overriding, all these concepts will be cleared. Fine. So the function topic is over now. Okay, there is one thing I just want to discuss with you. I have give talked about the term paper in the last lecture, right? So you can see that. Let me share the screen. Okay, so you can see here. I have also made visible the assignment one also. Try to complete that assignment before the deadline. So this is the thing that I want to discuss with you, term paper. I already told you that you have to just perform a one paper on any of the topic of the Python. So you can just simply take the small projects. Like if you will search on the Google, you will get a number of projects available, right? So what you have to do, you just have to follow these rubrics in the unit 1 till the unit 1. This was the thing you have to complete, but we are little bit late for that thing. So you just need to complete these two things in your unit 2 part, right? So abstract, you must have studied about the research papers or the term papers. So in this way you have to submit your paper. So for that purpose you can just take a simple to simple and the small projects, not too difficult, not too medium. You can just go with the simple projects also. Just follow the things that whenever you're going to prepare your reports, it should be plague free. There is no plagiarism. If you are copying the content from the internet also, make sure change that content in your language, in your way, so that there will be less plagiarism or no plagiarism at all, right? Then review and methodology, you can follow any of the projects, check the methodology and then put that methodology in the paper. And at the last, at the time of the final assessments, you have to prepare a plagiarism report, whatever the plagiarism you are getting by calculating, and the presentation, whatever the topic you have opted, in that you have to represent your paper, right? So if you will search on the Google for the small projects of the Python, you will get number of the ideas, and from there you can randomly select your topic. Clear to all? So till the mid of April, you just need to perform these two things, Unit 1 and Unit 2, review of the methodology. After that, what I'll do, you just need to make sure that whenever there will be a next lecture, you need to confirm your topics till the next lecture, or you can do it by the Tuesday, because you have 2 days, Sunday and Monday. Till the Tuesday, you just need to provide me the topics on which particular topic you are going to cover the your paper. And after the gap of 10 to 15 days, or the after the completion of unit 2, we will go with the review and methodology. Fine. So just go to the Google and search for the small projects of the Python. Clear to everyone? Okay, fine. So this is a thing that I want to discuss about the term paper, and then yes, you all need to complete this discussion forum also. I have seen that still there are number of entries pending. So this is your engagement task. You have to complete a discussion forum. Unit 1 discussion forum is still pending from many of the students, to try to complete that. And after unit 2 completion, you need to complete the discussion forum for unit 2 also. For after every chapter, there is a discussion forum, and this is the post unit 1 discussion forum. If you are having any kind of the query, you can also put doubt related to that query also. So now let me share the platform again with you. Okay, so we are done with the function part. Still you are guys having any kind of doubt, you can ask related to functions, that what are the user defined functions, how we are going to create them, and what are the different type of arguments. Is there any doubt in the different type of arguments, or that is clear? Okay, the concept of the lambda function, is that clear too? Okay, fine then. In your cache, Anmol, auxiliary memory, whenever you're going to define any kind of a variable, whether it's a global or is a local, it will be going to store in your auxiliary memory. The scope of that variable will remain till your program is there. For what purpose you are using that particular variable, till the time your variable scope will be there. You must have studied about the lifetime or the scope of the variable. So till the program is there for which you are using that particular variable is there. So it is going to store into auxiliary memory. No issue. Okay, so let me give you some of the program so that you can implement by your own. Let me write on the whiteboard. Okay. Mm, calculate the maximum of three numbers using function, but not built-in function. You have to use user-defined function. because with the built-in function you implement the max and you will get the answer. So you need to make use of the user-defined function. Okay. Then Fibonacci series. Then you will okay filter out the prime number from the list given. Okay, so what you have to do, okay, so you have to filter out the prime number from the list given. You can filter out the prime values from 1 to 50. So the simple way of creating a list from 1 to 50 by putting the manually element from 1 to 50, you can just make use of the range function or the sequence functions. Sequence function is not there in this particular language, that is an R. You can make use of the range function, right? And then you have to even numbers we have already done. Okay, check the given number is palindrome or not. I just want to check that how you are going to do this question with the help of the Python, because in the Python checking palindrome is very easy. So implement these 4 programs, and if you'll be done with the try to implement the last question first. If you're done within the 12:45, then I'll check today. Otherwise, I'll check in the next session, next class on Tuesday. So take a snapshot of these questions and implement. There are different way of implementing a palindrome. So just make use of the inbuilt function also, and make use of the user defined function also for calculating the palindrome. Yes, Anirudh, you are using the reversing a string, slicing, right? Good. Do implement with the help of the functions. Okay, so do take the snapshot of these questions. I'll check in the next class. I also have taken the snapshot to take the reference for myself. So do complete these programs and make sure to complete the last program palindrome with the help of inbuilt function also and the user defined function also. I'll check with the both. Okay, so you all can leave the session now. Thank you and have a nice day.